Alright, welcome back. We're watching these folks clean up the Circa sportsbook here. They just fully opened in December 2020, and despite supply chain issues at the time, they somehow pushed through an expedited opening a few months early of the first 5 floors. Perhaps now we see how it was done. And here's where all that water came from. It actually came through the sportsbook betting screens. And here's Planet Hollywood down on the Las Vegas Strip.
Whoa! Good finals, keep it in.
Next up is Caesers Palace. The doors originally opened August 5th, 1966, and it was built with a $10.6 million loan from the Teamsters Central States Pension Fund. Ah, the good old days of Vegas. Of course, Caesars Palace has been through many remodels since then, so you gotta wonder how something like this was missed all those years. Here we have the Linq parking garage. The Linq was recently known as the Quad, and before that it was the Imperial Palace, featuring the Rock House out front. R.I.P. Rock House, thanks for the good and cheap times. The Linq completed a $223 million renovation in July 2015, with approximately $1 billion total invested by guess who? Caesars Entertainment Corporation. The sad part is, this area has always been known to be a flood problem, and throughout all the renovations, it's never really been fixed. Here's an overhead view of the Linq property right here, and you'll see the observation wheel in back. And the parking garage area we're looking at is right in here. You'll see in the next video how the water comes right through the parking garage here and is actually designed to go down into this channel. Here's a video from 4 years ago in 2018, and you'll see the water coming out of the parking garage and continuing on its way down into the drainage channel like it's supposed to. Gotta hand it to him. This parking garage really does make a good flood channel. And there you see what happens when the flood channel overflows. It just goes in the street instead. Now we'll take a look outside the Las Vegas Strip and around the Las Vegas city streets, where impatient drivers who are in a hurry to get places gun it through the deep water in low clearance sedans and eventually just get immobilized as others try and go around and do the same. This is such a bad issue here, the Regional Flood Control District had to make an infomercial.
The light is green, there's places to go. It's just a little water in the road. The flash flood grows, how deep, who knows? The other cars made it. Watch and learn, let me show you how it goes. Loco!
Ooh la la!
Yep.
Let's venture outside town now and take a look at the Las Vegas Wash, which channels all the urban runoff and stormwater from the last few days and pushes it down towards Lake Mead. And here you're going to see a comparison between the last 5 days. I was actually down here making a video on the drought when this crazy monsoon rainstorm started kicking in. Here you're going to see a difference of 5 days. And notice how all the reeds down there look like they've been stampeded by a herd of buffalo. Now we do have rain forecasted also for the next several days. As you look at the sky, you can see it coming in each evening. Now I'm going to do the same comparison of the last 5 days looking downstream. On the right, you're going to see the dirty, muddy water headed downstream towards Lake Mead from the city. you can once again notice how the bushes and reeds got tamped down by the devastating floodwater. Here's where the Las Vegas Wash goes underground into a bypass tunnel and out into Lake Mead. You'll notice how green and bushy everything is in the low water level. And here's after the storms. You can see things are tamped down and the water actually rise to the point where it had to use the overflow tunnel in the background. Here's a look above the bypass tunnel, and they've been working the last few days to clear out all this debris that got junked up here. Let's see what it looked like last week before the floodwaters brought all this debris in. And there you'll see right below the deck, that grading is nice and clean, and it's actually meant to circumvent any rising waters that get too high, which they absolutely did last week. See how clean that grade is? Now we'll fast forward to today. And this is after they've been already working to unjunk all this stuff. There it is again last week, nice and clean. And the wash kind of looks like a little creek. So here we are today, and once again they've already been working for a few days to get all this junk out of here, so the floodwater had definitely risen to the point where it was at that mark. And if you're dying to know what it looked like while it was storming, so was I. I was hoping to catch the floodwaters up here, but the worst was the 28th. You can still see all these piles of debris that had made it way up here above the water line during the worst of the flooding. And I thought this was funny. A little toy car must have washed up here behind the excavator at some point. Well, there you go, folks. We were all really hoping for rain, and though it's not really going to help Lake Mead that much, it's certainly for the positive. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to have another Lake Mead update video coming soon.